Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Bridgewater now on second down. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. Coming into this one, ranked number 19 in the NFL against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, Bridgewater. And Thomas has it. Oh, now he bears him over. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1, if people want to run the football, this is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing is Bridgewater. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Todd Davis in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now a pitch out to Michel. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
This one complete to Devin Funchess. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. From the gun on third down, Newton. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the... That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 36 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Escaping the pressure right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. To throw on second down is Newton. Steps away to his left. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphreys. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
They would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. Play fake. Bridgewater. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Again, this is Kamara. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Bridgewater to throw it. That's caught by Meredith right side. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Throwing, Bridgewater. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Panthers have recovered. A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field now that you've turned it over and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down. Now they lose it.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Now Newton on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Being chased out left. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And that one results in 35 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Buying time to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. T.Y. Hilton, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd down, Bridgewater. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Adam Humphries Humphries, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On first down, Newton dancing to his left, and he slides to avoid the hit. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, it's Newton. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
2nd and 10, Newton again. Now he's going the other way. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Newton on first down. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Charles Clay has tied in the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Throwing again is Newton. This will be caught at about the 6. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Again, Newton. Stepping, and he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a holding penalty.
Now, loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And at this stage in the game, sure, you wanted the touchdown. You're already in the red zone, but boy, you squandered a chance to at least get the field goal there, so no points out of this, and we stay tied.
Very disappointed team. No one more disappointed than the kicker who thought he had a chance to be the hero of the day. All they had to do was trot him out on the field. They didn't even give him the opportunity. And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On the ground is Michel. Despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And avoids the contact by sliding. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a first down throw for Newton. It's caught by Funchess. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher. Guys trying to get...
And this is caught inside the 5. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. T.Y. Hilton with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is now 21-14. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Bridgewater now. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And it'll bring up third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Bridgewater now from the 50. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Bridgewater from the gun on third down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a third down.
That defensive front four has been very good. They have just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like forward-down defensive linemen, they feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
That's complete to Meredith. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll give it to him up the middle. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, second and goal. Throwing is Bridgewater. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
Bridgewater. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 30. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, 1-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick 6.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed.
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and 10. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Bridgewater. It's caught. Humphreys. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
3rd and short yardage. Bridgewater. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. The 30, 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are back within a score. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, You throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
On second down, here's Newton. Flushed out right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now it's Newton. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and oh no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Bridgewater now on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Bridgewater again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. He's back to throw. He gets it to Humphries. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. Stops short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. Back to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Thomas. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Back to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Todd Davis in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw, Bridgewater. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Desperation time, 4th down, Bridgewater.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Newton's going to throw it. Forced out to his left. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the ball is going to wind up out of bounds, so they will lose yardage, but they'll keep the football.
Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now Newton. They'll roll him out right. Looking deep for Hilton. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And a Saints signal for another timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Newton to throw. Being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, Didn't really matter. The scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for Carolina, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
thicker the pie, thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Beat them a bite, now listen to Beamer, I'm Brian, I'm kinda they were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it, the is mad. Man in that bag, cause I'm all in my bag. Just a little murder, out the cutie. Now I don't give a, tell me why I would on the roads, walk out to the bag. In my denim, in my denim, she was trying to 4 out, she don't give a